Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Stacy. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you that you're here. Of course, if you're new, definitely go ahead and subscribe, join our community. We would love to have you here. We create a lot of femininity, faith-based. We create lots of vlog, beauty content, whatever you would like to see. Let me know in the comment section and I will bring it to you. And of course, let me know where you're watching me from so I can give you a quick shout out. Guys, the day that I'm recording this, it is Friday, and if I upload it on a Friday, happy Friday, or actually it doesn't even matter what day it is. I just hope that you're having a wonderful day. So guys, as you can see from the title of this video, today I will be discussing a very juicy, controversial, hot topic, and that is none other than important things we should find out about a man while in the dating stage. Now, I'm obviously speaking to mostly the ladies, but if you're a man watching this, you can definitely use these tips and still, find out a lot about your partner or somebody that you're interested in while you're in the dating season or the dating stage of your relationship. So if you're interested in seeing these tips and to discuss this topic with me, please keep watching. So honestly, I really enjoy this topic, and I am so happy that I'm filming it because I feel like it needs to be said. And I know a lot of content is out there on YouTube, talking about dating, relationships, and all of these different things. I feel like we just all think that we're relationship coach, and rightfully so, because again, if you're in the dating space, or you're young and you're dating and you're meeting new people, I feel like your experiences make you qualified to speak on it, right? So don't let anybody make you feel like, oh, why are you talking about this? Because to be honest with you, I have been dating since I was like, I want to say 16. I'm 34 now, so sometimes certain topics you can feel like, why am I speaking on this like I'm not a professional? But I feel like experiences make you qualify, right? So I'm definitely excited about sharing all of these tips. Now, what triggered this conversation and me wanting to talk about this? Now, I noticed for the past few months there's been a lot of people on social media, specifically like influencers, they're coming out and they're talking about their experience. For example, that girl, what's her name, the Wizard Liz, she came out earlier this month, or was it last month, and she talked about her fiance. Actually, I think he was her husband, because I think they got married, that she was, I think, 4 months pregnant, and then she found out that he was cheating on her. And then recently this other girl came out, huge influencer, share her whole life. It's just so, it's so sad when you decide to share your life with social media, and things like this has to happen, especially as a woman. As I said, I'm speaking from a woman perspective. It's really sad, and it take a damper on your confidence and everything. It makes you just want to crawl into a hole. And this is why I am a big advocate for, you can share stuff on social media, but just be very mindful of what you put out there, because I feel like once you put out your personal life and stuff like that, it's like you don't have control of it anymore. Like, you put yourself out there for people to judge you, whether they see your side of things or not. Like, they just judge you. They don't have the full story, because obviously you just put snippets of your life. They don't have the full facts and everything, but it's just an invitation for them to judge you, right? And so I noticed that a lot of influencers, people my age, young and old, but mostly around my age group, women, coming forward and just being vulnerable and just sharing their experiences when it comes to dating. And here's my take on it. I just believe we're living in a world where social media is obviously something that is big in all of our lives, right? We love social media. We look to it for ideas. We have our businesses on social media. We follow our favorite influencers. We learn on it and all of these different things. But I feel like a lot of times we can let social media sway us so much, that to a point where it affects our life and our very big decisions in our life, right? One of them being relationships, like marriages and stuff. I feel like when we go on social media, right, as human beings, we see snippets of people's life. They don't show us the full story. We don't get the full story. A lot of time people only put what they want us to see. They put the shiny stuff. And some people be vulnerable as well, and they try to put they try to be authentic and show up and give you everything. And so when they do that, first of all, it's rare for people to show up as their authentic self, right? I feel like we try to do it as much as possible, but there's still just parts of us that we want to hide. So mostly we just put out the stuff that we think people want to see, the shiny stuff, right? And while that is really nice, I feel like it's swaying a lot of us to make certain decisions that we really wouldn't make had we just focus on our inner thoughts and focus on what we actually want to do, right? We let things on social media sway us. So stuff like, when we go on social media, we see a lot of couple goals. We tend to draw closer to a couple that seems like they have everything going on for them. They have the house, the family, they have their content creators, they're doing very well, they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of people that look up to them, and we tend to use that as a model and say, you know what, I want that for my life, which is fine. It's completely fine, because as human beings, we want good things for ourselves, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting good things for yourself. But I feel like when it comes to social media and taking the influence there, I feel like we have to take it with dosage. We also have to take what belongs to us and leave what doesn't. Just because you see like your favorite influencer is getting married, having kids, and doing all this and the third, that you need to rush it. Live life at your own pace. I feel like social media make us feel like we have to rush everything, that we need to have this at this age or that at that age, and if we don't achieve this or we don't have this in our life, that we're not accomplished and we're not successful, when really this is so far from the truth. And I feel like this is what's happening with the relationships. We're so eager, especially as women, not to say that we're the only one that go through this. Men too. I believe men do genuinely want to settle down and find that that one person that is his soulmate, and he wanna have his life, right? I believe that. But especially for women, I feel like we, from a child, we just have this ideal, this how do I even say it? We have this scenario in our head of how our life should turn out, that we should grow up and go to school, get a good education, get the perfect career, get a husband, get kids, get the the house, and everything should just fall into place. And it doesn't happen like that. And so when we don't get that, or we don't see that in our life, we feel like we're failures. We feel like if we haven't achieved something at a certain age, we're failures. And guys, if this is you, if you're watching this video and you feel this way, first thing I want to say, you're not alone. We've all been there. It's just as of recently, I'm just starting to take the pressure off of myself, because I'm 34 right now. I had my first child when I was 16, and I thought that by now I would have been married and on to my next kid. And sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, like when is it gonna happen, this, that, and the third? And I'm just like, I just have to stop myself and say, girl, look at all your blessing, and then I have to remind myself that everybody have a different purpose. Just because my friend is at this stage in their life doesn't mean that I have to be there, because we have different purpose. And I feel like when you tie it back to your purpose and the plans for God and God have for your life, and remember that He is the author and finisher of your life, it kind of takes the stress off of you, and then you don't feel this way. So I say this to say, if you're watching this video today and you're feeling anxious and you're feeling like you're behind, or you need to achieve this, that, and the third, and because people around you is doing it and you are not quite there yet, I promise you, if you take the stress off of you, put it in God's hands, you'll be so much more happier. You'll be less stressed, less depressed, and things would flow for you. What I would say is definitely work on you. Work on being the better version of you. Work on healing your traumas. Do some inner work. Work on self-love, because I promise you, we hear this all the time. When we work on ourselves, things are gonna come together. It is so true, and I'm speaking from experience. When you work on self-love, you work on your healing your traumas and just being the best version of yourself, you're gonna attract the people, because you're gonna show up as you, and you're gonna attract the people that is supposed to be in your life. Now, I know this was a very long intro, but I do want to share that if you're currently you're unmarried, you're a young lady, you're watching this, especially for my younger girlies, because I promise you, like, the Stacy that used to date in her teenage is not the same Stacy that is dating now. I am more wiser, and I wish somebody had set me down and talked to me about all of these things that I need to look for, red flags, green flags in relationships and all of that, because it would have saved me so much time, headache, heartache, and just trauma, okay? Because I feel like my dating life has just been traumatic, okay? And so right now I'm taking the time to heal myself, and I can see that I'm growing. And so if you're watching this, I want this for you as well. At the end of this video, you'll be able to spot out the red flags. You'll be able to ask the question. You'll be confident, like when you're dating, the questions that you need to ask, and then you can, because remember, knowledge is power, right? So if you don't know, if you're dating somebody and you don't know these things that I'm about to talk to you about. Now, I think I may have to do 2 parts to this, because I have a whole list. I'm probably gonna go through about 7 or 8, and then I'll do a part 2, right? If you're informed and you have these information, you can, in the dating stage, you can make an informed decision as to, okay, do I want to have a kid with this person? Would this person be the right partner for me? Would this person be there for me emotionally? Would this person make a good fit for my life? Do I see a husband or a wife in this person? Like, you'll be able to answer all of these questions once you ask these questions. I feel like a lot of times we get so excited, we get so caught up with the perfect couple life that is showed on social media, that once we get with someone, we just want to rush the process. We don't want to take the time to get to know them. We may go on a few dates, but when we're on the dates, we talk about surface stuff. Like, we don't talk about stuff that is deep, that's gonna allow you to get to know that person, which is so important. So again, at the end of this, you'll have a long list of questions, and you'll feel so confident that when you meet that next person and you feel like, okay, this is somebody that I feel like could be a life partner, you'll be confident and you'll have all the questions that you need to ask them to give you the information that you need to decide, okay, am I going to trap myself with this person by having unprotected sex or having a child, or, you know, wasting my time and emotion on them when I should really walk away from them. I promise you, girl or guy watching this video is going to help you. Okay, so let me stop talking and let me get right into the tips. Now, all of these questions that I'm gonna give to you, all of these tips, right, you don't have to do them in one sitting. As you know, when you meet a new person and you wanna let's say go on a date with them, before it turned into a full-blown relationship or boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, you usually go on a few dates with that person, and this is your opportunity to ask them these questions, right, to pick their brain. And so it doesn't have to be like a full-on interview. It doesn't have to be an interview. It doesn't have to be weird or awkward. Just let it be natural that you ask them these questions. Okay, and listen, people absolutely love it when you are curious about them. They love talking about themselves. So definitely make it fun, and break it up in parts. Like, you don't have to, maybe you can squeeze in 3 of these questions on your first date. Maybe your second date you can go another 3, and so on and so forth. And maybe when you guys are having maybe phone conversation, you know, those seasons in your new relationship when you're on the phone from morning to night or night till morning, you know, those long conversations that you have. These are the opportunity for you to ask and get this information out of these people, so that you can know if they're going to be the right fit for you. So the very first question you want to ask them is, do they have a job? Do they have a job? Are they working? Find out about their job. Like, do they have a job? Are they not working? Do they have a career? How long have they been in the career? You could ask them, like, why did you choose this specific career? You know, if they're an entrepreneur, like, what are they passionate about and stuff like that, right? You want to know these kind of things. You definitely want to know what that person is passionate about, because it's going to allow you to see if you guys have similar passions, right? I know having similar passions and all of these different things could be something that's good to bond with your partner on, right? That will mean that you have chemistry and all of these different things, right? So it just allows you to see what that person is interested in and how much they love their job, how committed and dedicated they are, and all of these different things. And it also allows you to see, as a woman, if that man is going to be able to provide for you, like, right, how stable is he in his career? Like, how long has he been in that career? Like, if it's a month or whatever, how come it's a month and you're at this age? Like, is your career new? Like, are you in transition? Like, what did you do before that? What was your career before? Like, what made you change this, you know, choose this career? All of these questions is so important, right? Yes, because I feel like we like to act like money is not important when we know it's super duper important, especially in the world that we're living in today. Money is super important. So girl, you want to know if he's working. You want to know what field he's in and how invested he is, if he's a career hopper, if he's a job hopper, if he's not working, and all of these different things. Okay, all right, the next question, and I absolutely love this one, and it's so important, right? If they have kids from previous relationship or previous marriage, do they have kids? What is their routine like with the kids? How many kids do they have? Because you may be somebody who is not looking to have any more kids, or maybe you're somebody who want to have kids. You want to understand their take on it. How do they feel? You don't want it to be a surprise that you've been dating them for so long and only to find out maybe like 2 years in that this person doesn't want kids. And then you want to see what their relationship is like with their kids, that if they do have kids and they want other kids, you know, if they have a good healthy relationship with their kids or their baby moms, and how is the co-parenting style. It's gonna be an indication for you that if you were to have a child with this person, how are they gonna treat your kid? Like, how is your kid gonna be in good hand? Can you depend on this person? So knowing if they have kids and the routine and you know the relationship dynamics with them and their previous partner or their ex or whatever, how it is. This is so important for you to know, and it give you an idea as to what you can expect in the future as well. Now, the third thing you want to ask is, what does your relationship with your baby mother or baby father like? Gauge the level of maturity. Now, this is a very, very big one. And this is, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. I always say, like, and this may sound a little selfish, I always say that I don't want to get married to someone who have a baby mother. Like, I don't know why. Again, I can already hear you guys judging me, but this is just my personal preference, right? We all have our own preferences, and some people might be saying, well, I'm a baby mother because I do have a son, right? But my son is 18, and the reason why I say this is because I feel like a lot of men sometimes, when you're a woman, a lot of men, if they have other baby moms, the relationship between them is not as mature. I feel like for example, my baby father and me, we have zero connection when it comes to, like, if we still care about each other. On my part, the feelings there, the ship has sailed, okay? There's no desire for me to go back and be with that person. So the relationship is strictly about my son, our son, and that's it. You're gonna call me, are we gonna talk about our son? If we're not, then we don't have anything to say. But a lot of relationships, sad to say, where there's a baby mama and baby dad involved, you know, the feelings is not resolved. There's still some kind of feelings there where the baby mother feel like she's entitled to the man and she can contact him at any time. It could be at 3 o'clock in the morning, even if it's not something related to the child. They just feel like they have this hold on that man or that woman. If it's a man in the situation reverse, they just feel like their feelings is not resolved, like they're not over each other. And I hate that, because that can be very toxic. So when you ask them, you know, what is the relationship like with their baby mom, in this case I'm speaking from a woman perspective, ask that man, like, what is the relationship dynamic like? How do you guys co-parent? Is that person with someone? Are they dating? Are they remarried? Because this would give you an understanding as to what is going on between them. Is it mature, or is it like a red flag that it's going to be toxic? Like, I'm telling you, ask these questions and you're gonna have the information that you need from the get-go to make a proper decision. That way you don't end up in situationships and things that you're gonna be regretting, okay? Or go have kid with that person and they're so toxic. That's the last thing that you want, girl, I promise you, okay? So the fourth point I have here is, what is his family dynamics? What is his relationship with his family? So I'm talking immediate family, so mom, dad, siblings. Like, do they have a good relationship? Is it toxic in that relationship? Is there grandparent? Because this is gonna gauge, you know, how much support you're gonna have if you have a child for this person. Like, do they have grandfather, grandmother? How do they love each other, especially for men? Like, what is his relationship with his mother? Like, does he have a good relationship with his mom? Because they usually say, like, depending on how a man treats his mom is a great indication as to how he would treat you. And I promise you, this is so true. Because if he doesn't care about his mother or his siblings or the ladies in his life, what makes you think that you're so special? And some women are so naive to think that, oh, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna change things. Like, excuse me, are you God? Are you Jesus? This should be a red flag. So if he have a wonderful relationship with his family, again, it's an indication as to what you are going to be experiencing. Now, I know there's a one-off where, you know, a person may grow up in a toxic relationship and they turn out to be a wonderful individual. I've seen it. But most of the time, if that person don't have a solid relationship with their family and their mom, and, you know, all of these different things, and everything is not green, there's going to be some issues there, I promise you. And at this point, you just have to decide, you know what, am I willing to go through this with this person? You just have to gauge what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to, okay? But again, remember, we want to set ourselves up for success in these relationships, okay, ladies? Times is too short for us to be making mistakes all over. Like, it's and I've seen it so many times, and sometimes I shake my head and I'm just like this person just didn't learn from their first experience. And it's sad because it sounds like I'm judging them, but yeah, people, we do judge. Even if it's a silent judge, we do judge, okay? So I feel like after you make a mistake, I feel like they say the first mistake is a mistake. After that, it's not anymore. So you take responsibility for your own action. And so that's why I'm bringing these tips, so that we all can be on the right page and set ourselves up for success, okay? Life is not perfect, but you can come up with some questions to help your future be one that you're proud of and you're happy with, okay? All right, next question, I think this is like the 5th point. I think I might do 10 and then I'll do a part 2. The next question that you can ask them is what is one of their biggest accomplishment to date? And this is basically going to give you an understanding of that person, like how the standards that they hold themselves to. Are they somebody that set goals? Are they somebody that set goals for themselves and is able to check them off? Or do they have boundaries? It just tells you what type of person they are. Or are they just somebody who just goes with the flow? Not that anything's wrong with that, but if they have accomplishment or things that they've done and they're so proud of and they're working on becoming a better person, you want this, because that means they're becoming better for you, and they're gonna have a positive influence on you. Okay, because we tend to mirror the people that are around us. I think studies show that the 4 people or the 5 people that are around us, we tend to adapt traits and stuff from them. So if this person is somebody who's goal oriented and they're very motivated and all of these different things, it's going to be a positive and a plus for you yourself, especially if you're like this. You're definitely gonna want this, so that's wonderful. Okay, so the next tip, I think this is 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is the 6th tip for you. Where does he see himself in 5 or 2 years, 2 or 5 years? So you want to gauge where their head's at when it comes to dating. Or is this person just looking to casually date until they're ready to get married and settle down, or they're actually looking to start a family and get married and get engaged and all of these different things, right? So ask them, like, what do you see yourself in 2 to 5 years? Like, what is your plans and stuff like that? And you can just ask them. If they're not married, you can just state your intentions right then and there. Like, I'm looking to get married in about 2 years or so. I want to have kids and all of these different things. Let them know, and it's gonna just cut out so much of time wasting and all of these different back and forth, right? So why you're asking all these questions, so we know and we have information that we can make proper decision. Okay, I hope this is helping so far, because honestly, I'm preaching to myself as well. I feel like we definitely need to do a full interview with these. There's too many horror stories when it comes to dating in this generation, way too many, and I feel like this can be solved if we just take time to ask questions and get to understand people, because then we'll know who to skip over or who to leave or who to go with. Okay, so the next question, and I love this one: views on marriage. Is he a 50-50 person, or is he a provider type? Now, this one here is a big controversial discussion and topic on social media. There's some men that feel like there should be a 50-50 ratio when it comes to relationship, and there's some of them, very few of them, that thinks that they can be provider. Listen, this whole 50-50 thing, I feel like it's just men that needs to do inner work and heal themselves, because there's no way. Like, I feel like it's men that just doesn't know that their place, because really, men are providers. I know that women are providing for themselves these days because we're liberated and we feel like we can do what we can do and we have passions and all these different things. But really, in the beginning of time, men has been the provider. Women are the homemakers. The men provide the home, we make the house our home. The men provide the house, we make the house a home, we take care of the kids and all these different things. There's nothing 50-50 about it. If a man cannot push out a child, it's not 50-50. I'm sorry, it is not 50-50. And I can hear men in the comment section cursing me, but God bless your soul if you're cursing me for that. That means you need to do inner work. But yes, this whole 50-50 ordeal. And listen, I know that there's some women who may be lazy and stuff, they just want to depend on the man. First of all, I don't believe in this 50-50 thing, but I also do believe in having a passion as a woman. I feel like if I'm married to a provider man and he's providing things, I'm gonna have a passion. If I'm a woman of substance and I'm a woman who have goals and dreams, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna use my passion and my desires to monetize that and bring in money and add to the family. Of course, I'm not just gonna sit around in my house day in and day out and don't do anything. You know what I mean? So it all comes down to you as a woman. But I ultimately believe in men being the provider. I feel like if you can provide for your kids and you can provide for the home, like pay rent and take care of the woman without her help, without her going to work, I feel like you're not ready to get married. You're not even ready to have kids, right? Back in the day, if you didn't have all your T's crosses and your crossed and your I's dots, you cannot get married to anyone's kid. Look at the Bible, look at David, like look at these are the examples that we have to follow, right? So yeah, definitely ask this question, get his views and understanding. And if you're a woman that wants a provider man, then, and he said that he's a 50-50 and he believed that women should work and contribute to the household and all these different things, then you have this information to say, okay, well, I know, like, I need to steer clear of you because you're gonna make me work and take care of the kids and do all of these different things. Now again, if you're a woman of substance, you're gonna have your own passions, you're gonna want to do something, you're not gonna sit around, but you should have that option. Okay, so ask that question and then you'll be able to know. This is our 8th point, and then I'm gonna give 2 more, and then I'm gonna do a part 2, okay, because I don't want to make this video too long. This next point is, what is his credit score? So if you're living in the North Americans and all of these different things, you know, having good credit is very important. You know, a lot of people used to say that cash is king. No, credit is king. If you have bad credit, you can almost get nothing. I don't think there's much options for you when it comes to money and borrowing and getting a house and, you know, getting credit and starting a business. Having bad credit is a no-no. So definitely talk to and it can be an uncomfortable discussion, but as I said, make it fun. It's a discovery stage, you're dating, you need to know this, and this is a question that you don't have to ask in the beginning. You can maybe give it maybe 6 months or so, and then you kind of get it out of that person and just, you know, word it in a way that you know, it's fun and it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm putting you on the spot and I'm prying and all of these different things, right? You have a right to know, because the last thing you want to do is get married to somebody that have so much debt. If your plan is to be a homeowner at a certain age and they have so much debt, and because of their debts and their bad credit, you're not able to borrow money, you're not able to get a house, get a mortgage, and all of these different things, get a car and all these different things, that's definitely something for you to consider and for you to know beforehand, because that can be devastating. That can put you back and set you back. Okay, so it's important to know. All right, so my 9th point is, what's 1 or 2 things about himself that he's working on right now, working on to improve? And listen, ladies, if we're gonna be asking men these questions, make sure that you have the answers, because he can definitely rebuttal it. He can definitely push it back to you and ask you. So if you're gonna be asking him these questions, make sure you have the answers as well. Okay, it's only right and it's only fair. So ask him, what is 1 thing that he's working on improving in himself? And if he say there's nothing, then that's a red flag. Okay, we all have things that we're working on. Every one of us have something that we are working on improving in our lives. So ask him, what is 1 thing that you're working on? How are you looking to achieve that? How are you looking to make a difference with this? And all of these different things. Just get an understanding as to where he's at, maturity level, maturity wise, and all of these different things. Okay, so my last and final point for this video here, and as I said, I'm gonna bring part 2 if you guys want to see part 2, is what's 1 thing on his bucket list. This is a fun one. Maybe he wants to travel to 10 countries before he get married, or you want to go skydiving, or whatever it is. Okay, whatever is on his bucket list, find out, compare, and this can be a really fun one, because a lot of people, especially the younger couples, like, they want to travel before they go have kids. You know, I know this couple that they're fresh out of college and university, they got married, and they decided, you know what, we want to travel before, or we want to travel to 5 different countries before we have kids, because you know, when you have kids, it's like your whole world is surrounded around them, right? These little ones, they take your attention, they take your energy, they take your time. So maybe you guys want to travel, maybe you want to live in another city, another country, you want to save up some money to do this, that, and the third. Whatever it is very important to know what's on your bucket list, and this gives you an opportunity to see if you guys have chemistry, if you have things in common, and all of that different stuff, guys. So yeah, I really think that this is really good for us to start doing. If you're not doing that, don't ask him things like, what is your favorite color and what did you eat last night? Forget about that. Okay, we're grown people, so we're doing grown people things. Ladies, please be informed. Okay, don't make the mistake of just rushing into a marriage and having kids with a man and you don't know these things about them. Okay, like, because it's not a good feeling. It's really not. Okay, and you could have avoided it by paying attention to the red flags, getting some information, and so on and so forth. So I really hope that this video was helpful. I had so much fun discussing it, and I actually opened up my own brain and my own mind, and about dating and all of these different things. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if you like this list of things, if you want to see part 2, and yeah, I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.